and let us all do we can to build a better future.
The Democrats are useless. The Democrats are useless. Third time's a charm. The Democrats are so effing useless, okay? You know, it's interesting to see a little bit of the pushback from some lawmakers, but I'm not going to say, oh, wow, how stunning and brave and heroic, because it's almost too little too late at this point. If there was any goodwill left, it is long since evaporated, or it's just there in the corner saying, oh, okay, great, you're saying that. And look, I'll give credit where credit's due. Representative Rashida Tlaib decided to be at an anti-war protest calling for a ceasefire, saying, President Biden, you got to stop this, please. Call for a ceasefire. Look, that's not going to happen. President Biden made his total war speech, okay? And there will not be peace in our time. We will not see it. There's going to be money for Ukraine. There's going to be a military aid package for Israel. And there's money for war, but there's no money for the poor. There's no money for our infrastructure. And so this video came out. Might as well start off with this. It's an anti-war message. President Biden, not all of America is with you on this one. Well, tell that to the donors. And Biden's not listening. And all you hack fraud Democrats who said that Biden is exceeding expectations. Well, here's your shite sandwich. Now eat it.
President Biden, not all of America is with you on this one. And you need to wake up and understand that. We are literally watching people commit genocide and killing the vast majority just like this. And we still stand by and say nothing. We will remember this, but all of you need to know, I swear to God, Allah, you are on the right side of history. You are. You're doing everything possible to save lives. What is wrong with that? Stop it with trying to politicize this. One goal, save lives. That's it.
I agree. But the president's not listening. He doesn't care. And when you compromise your values, when you side with the establishment, you become their pawn. She's saying things I agree with. Hey, look, I'll even go a step further. Probably might trigger a lot of liberals, but I want people to stop dying. I know I'm quoting Donald Trump here, but you know what? I like that quote. You know, I'm going to just make it my own. I want people to stop dying. Now, I don't have a solution for peace in the Middle East. I don't think we'll see peace in our time, and that's the real truth. This isn't open for any other kind of interpretation. If you want any other channel to sit here and pontificate and tell you, here's how we get peace, they're lying to you, okay? Because there won't be peace. I don't see it happen. We have to be real here. That's not going to happen in our lifetime, not in your children's lifetime, and not in your grandchildren's lifetime. It's not going to happen. There's too much war and uncertainty and hatred. Someday, we will get to a better land. Maybe peace in our times. Understanding. Just not now. And I'm so sorry if that upsets you. At least you heard it here from me. Anyone else that's going to tell you that they have the better solution, good luck. There was an opportunity for peace. It could have happened. I want to pull up this video from Case Study QB, where the people at CNN are breaking down Rashida Tlaib's viral moment, calling out President Biden. Shout out again to Case Study QB. He is wrongly being censored. Let's hear what these jagoffs, these big brain people at CNN think.
From a political perspective, though, he has some potential roadblocks to get around. And one of them is the left. I want to just play for you what Rashida Tlaib said this week. A lot of pain and anger in this clip. Just listen.
President Biden, not all America's with you on this one. And you need to wake up and understand that. We are literally watching people commit genocide and killing the vast majority just like this. And we still stand by and say nothing. We will remember this.
In his words, you hear him talking about Palestinians and their plight and pushing for humanitarian aid. But I can tell you, I mean, I've gotten emails from Democratic groups attacking Biden tonight for not doing enough on Palestinians.
I think, first of all, Rashida Tlaib is Palestinian origin. If it was Puerto Rico that was being bombed, I would have, deep emotional investment in it also. I feel awful for everybody on both sides. It's one thing to say Israel is protecting itself against this awful crime that was committed against the Jewish people. But it's another thing when you're,
again, not to be suspicious here or raise any kind of issue, but just to point out that is a heavily fortified border, a lot of cameras, a lot of posts, a lot of watchtowers. And look, hey, sometimes people get caught with their pants down, but it's a little suspicious that all that money and walls, all those watchtowers, all those posts, all those cameras, and you didn't see that haymaker coming? Oh, hey, look, sometimes people get lucky with a punch, but, just a side note, it has been reported, too, that some of those weapons that were being used were, I hope you're sitting down for this, from Ukraine. I know, it's a country. None of us ever heard of it before. It's just, things aren't adding up. It's not the first time crazy things didn't add up, nor will it be the last. It's a little suspicious. A little bit. And by the way, YouTube, I'm just saying it's a little bit suspicious. It's just a question that people want to ask. That's all. People are just asking this question. I'm not saying it, but the whole world is kind of looking at it with a raised eyebrow here and there.
Your kinsmen, your landsmen are being bombed as Israel tries to get Hamas, get the mass murderers. There are 1,500 men.
By the way, how does this guy still have a job after an embarrassing video he did finding Al Capone's, quote unquote, Al Capone's secret shelter? I don't know. Or not, it wasn't Al Capone. He was looking for somebody else. And it just turned out to be one big nothing burger.
Mass murderers that are hiding in the tunnels under Gaza. So I feel for her.
Papa the Sailor, yes, Al Capone's vault. That was a disappointment. That's right. That vault. I was a kid watching TV when that happened. My grandpa said, may he rest in peace, that was the biggest waste of time ever.
I feel the anguish of her and others similarly situated. But this is a terrible, terrible crisis Israel is facing. The Palestinian people also. What happens when Israel sends the forces into the tunnels to get those hostages out? Will the hostages survive the worst hostage crisis in Israel's history? How many civilians will die in the process? Can America stomach the blood that will necessarily be spilled? This is, one thing I talk about my long experience in the region. If you think this is bad, it's going to get worse. Pessimism always prevails. The pessimist is always right. And when you add it, again, I come back with the lunatic fringe of the Republican Party depriving the United States of an effective House of Representatives. I think that we're in for a rocky ride.
Well, hey, that's the signs of a declining empire. Forever wars. So speaking of forever wars, Biden, no one tell Rashida Tlaib this. No one tell AOC this. No one tell the progressives or the vote blue, no matter who, people say that if we vote for Biden, we'll make sure we don't get World War III. Well, I don't know. Looks like we're kind of on the cusp of it, because when you have a president connect both Hamas and Putin together, it's sort of very similar to what good old Bush Jr. did with his axis of evil of Iran, Iraq, North Korea. Remember the axis of evil? Seems like old man Biden's doing the same thing too. And then giving war, or at least promoting war, and giving money to Ukraine, giving money to Israel. Billions of dollars in aid. But the people of Maui, one time $700. Oh, and I nearly forgot. How could we forget? And this is important. Biden's yet to visit East Palestine, Ohio. 4,000 people exposed to dangerous chemicals. And I'm just naming those two places. There's countless cities and towns that have been impacted because of failing infrastructure, man-made disasters, natural disasters, and Nothing for them. Nothing for the people. But hey, we got 5 takeaways. Not one, but 5 takeaways from Biden's Oval Office address. The senile old goat talking. As I mentioned before, he's attempting to weave together Ukraine, Israel, and Gaza. You know, I'm really getting sick and tired of talking about Ukraine. And not to mention, hey, he's going to probably intertwine Taiwan as well. The central point of the speech was to make the case for new tranches of aid to Ukraine and to Israel. Biden said he would deliver a request to Congress on Friday. The total request, which also includes other issues like aid for Taiwan, is expected to be for about, that's right, $100 billion US. Rhetorically, Biden sought to draw parallels between the two conflicts, weaving them together into a narrative about the vital struggle against America's foes. I really hope we don't have World War III. But if it does happen, you guys have been great. It is so awesome hanging out with all of you for the live stream show. And thank you so much for subscribing to Hard Lens Media. Y'all have been great. I hope all of you have a very successful career. And if nothing happens, great, enjoy life. And if something does happen, you're awesome. And I'll see you guys on the other side. He goes on to say, Hamas and Russian President Vladimir Putin both want to completely annihilate a neighboring democracy. When I hear the word democracy now, I sometimes laugh. Neighboring democracy. Isn't that great? And oh wait, how about this? A passionate call to stem hatred at home, because we got to stop hate. That's not going to happen when you have a corporate media that is designed for clicks and views. On the hospital explosion, the clearest backing of Israel yet. Yes, the infamous hospital explosion. The conflict between Israel and the Palestinians has been in danger of widening since a Tuesday explosion at the Al-Ahli hospital in Gaza City. The death toll, though disputed, appears to be in the triple figures. Palestinians blamed an Israel airstrike, the Israelis said, and a rocket from Palestine Islamic Jihad was responsible. However, many reports are showing that it looked like it was an aerial strike. He then mentions the speaker gridlock, and then perfunctory backing for Palestinian rights. Hey, let's have democracy in the chat. You think the Biden administration is going to give a damn about Palestinian rights? Type 1 for yes, Kit. Biden's going to be humane. Biden's going to do the right thing. Type 2, no. That's not going to happen. Also, I'll pull up this article here for just to trigger the liberals. U.S. to divert shells for Ukraine to Israel. If anything, just heads up, because all that equipment that the Ukrainians have been getting have been subpar. So Israel kind of look out. The U.S. will give Israel tens of thousands of 155 millimeter artillery shells that were originally set aside for Ukraine. Axios reported on Thursday. The Israeli military reportedly told the Pentagon that it needed the shells to prepare for a ground invasion of Gaza, because hey, they got to blow up all those civilian targets. They're going to blow up all those civilian targets. And by the way, UN, the United Nations, warns of a potential Gaza genocide. Israel's engaged in systematic campaigns of crimes against humanity against Palestinians in Gaza. United Nations human rights experts warned in a statement published on Thursday, citing Tuesday's deadly airstrikes that targeted a hospital and several refugee shelters as evidence Israel officials were seeking to wipe out the entire Palestinian population. And I just want to play this video here, just so all of you can see firsthand just how crazy this world is, just how crazy it's getting. It's getting out of hand. It shouldn't be like this. This world should be better. But I just don't see how anything's really going to change anytime soon. Real quick, I just want to pull up this. Sorry, I didn't mean the video, but a statement. It's from Representative Cori Bush. She's part of the squad, after all. I applaud the courageous Muslim and Jewish congressional staffers who led a letter calling for a ceasefire. Oh, wow, congressional staffers. So remember I said that. I'm aware of the risk you're taking to stand on the right side of history. I see you. We see you. You are loved, valued, and appreciated. That's an article from the Huffington Post. Now, I do find it odd that Cori Bush is saying that she applauds their courage. But, there's something that's a little bit odd here. Just want to rewind time just a little bit in case all of you forgot. This article came out, October 25th, 2022. Progressive Democrats retract Biden Ukraine letter after furious debate. What? I'll do it later. So the chair of the Progressive Caucus of the U.S. House of Representatives, Pramila Jayapal, has retracted a letter sent by 30 of the members urging Biden to engage in direct talks with Russia to end the war in Ukraine, following a heated debate within the Democratic Party about future strategy of the conflict. In a statement issued on Tuesday afternoon, Jayapal made a dramatic U-turn, scrapping the letter that had been sent to the White House the previous day and implying it had been a mistake. The letter was drafted several months ago, but unfortunately was released by staff without vetting. Jayapal went on to regret what she said was a conflation of the progressive Democratic call for a diplomatic end to the Ukraine war with a recent statement by the Republican leader in the House, Kevin McCarthy, which threatened to end to aid for the stricken country should the Republican Party take back the House in the next month's midterm elections. Representative Jayapal went on to say the letter sent yesterday had been conflated with GOP opposition to support for the Ukrainians, just defense of their national sovereignty. As such, it is a distraction at this time, and we withdraw the letter. So, mind you, by the way, they did blame a staffer for that. They blamed a staffer for that. I don't believe these politicians when they say they stand in solidarity. And Representative Pramila Jayapal, I think you're forgetting who Joe Biden truly is. He doesn't give a damn about your protest or a call for ceasefire. The United Nations, you think the Democrats or the United States is going to stop Israel from doing what it wants to do in Gaza? They've been hitting civilian targets. Hatred is going to be running rampant. So, yes, Geraldo is right. The pessimists will win because, let's face it, there was an opportunity for peace. It's not going to happen. But remember, Joe Biden and other Democrats were called out way back in 2008 for the monsters and sociopaths they truly are. Shout out to Mike Gravel. This video is an oldie but a goodie. Gritty is the way. Thank you for finding this gem. Just to end this segment, here are the words of Mike on how he describes Biden and, of course, Hill Dog and a little-known politician named Barack Obama.
You're right. I made that statement, but that's before I had a chance to stand with them three times. It's like going into the Senate. The first time you get there, you're all excited. My God, how did I ever get here? Then about 6 months later, you say, how the hell did the rest of them get here? And I got to tell you, after standing up with them, some of these people frighten me. They frighten me. When you have mainline candidates that turn around and say that there's nothing off the table with respect to Iran, that's code for using nukes, nuclear devices. I got to tell you, I'm president of the United States. There will be no preemptive wars with nuclear devices. To my mind, it's immoral, and it's been immoral for the last 50 years as part of American foreign policy.
Let's use a little moderator discretion here. Senator Gravel, that's a weighty charge. Who on this stage exactly tonight worries you so much?
Well, I would say the top tier ones. The top tier ones. They made statements. Oh, Joe, I'll include you too. You have a certain arrogance. You want to...
Hold on. We just got to play that again. May Mike rest in peace. He was one of the few ones. But look at that trinity of evil. And they're all smiling. All three of them. Hill Dog, Obama, and Joe 30330. Sociopaths all around. He called them out. Do you see Bernie ever doing that? Do you see any politician really calling them out? These monsters? No. Mike did. So let's play this again.
A little moderator discretion here. Senator Gravel, that's a weighty charge. Who on this stage exactly tonight worries you so much?
Well, I would say the top tier ones. The top tier ones. They made statements. Oh, Joe, I'll include you too. You have a certain arrogance. You want to tell the Iraqis how to run their country. I got to tell you, we should just play get out. Just play get out. It's their country. They're asking us to leave, and we insist on staying there. And why not get out? What harm is it going to do? Oh, you hear the statement, well, my God, the soldiers will have died in vain. The entire deaths of Vietnam died in vain. And they're dying in vain right this very second. You know what's worse than a soldier dying in vain? Is more soldiers dying in vain. That's what's worse.
Mike was one of the real ones.